Hello and welcome to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events, sponsored by Red River Dodge. I want to thank them very much for sponsoring the Arkansas Weather Blog. Recording this Tuesday, March 28th, shortly after 8 a.m. And we have another round of severe weather, at least two rounds of severe weather, two areas that we're going to be watching coming through here on the Wednesday, Thursday time period. And this is, we've been telling you for here on the Arkansas Weather Blog for almost a week now that this was the time period of a more substantial threat for severe weather, and all modes of severe weather are possible. This is going to be, and I'm going to tell you, all this is still subject to change since this is only Tuesday, but I'm going to explain to you in this video where those threats are at what time. Can't get too specific at this point because it's still early in the ball game here, but also what those threats are, where, and how this may play out. Plus, I have some interesting statistics that I want to share with you. So first of all, as you may know, we are going to be in storm mode at Channel 7, and I want to show you the future radar with this as this loads up. Again, hold on one second, I'll get back to it. All right, so this, you're going to see here, this is the RPM for tomorrow, and this thing is run so many times a day and changes so many different times, but I think this may have at least a good general idea at this point, but I'll just read this to you. Where much of the state from west to east, the timing, I would say starting around 4 p.m. across western Arkansas Wednesday to 2 a.m. Thursday. That's just the initial round with this. There's going to be another one. Impact all modes of severe storms, wind, tornadoes, and hail. There will be a tornado watch issued for much of the state. I can just about guarantee you that. What you see in the brown here, most of the state has an enhanced risk for severe weather, and I'll show that to you in just for the next day. The threat for severe weather surrounding that is a slight risk. So most of the state has an enhanced risk, and that could see further upgrade. Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, you can see thunderstorms lining up. Again, do not look at the placement of this because it will not be correct, but you can see thunderstorms are going especially across the western half of the state. Wednesday evening, this goes into the overnight. This is at 11 o'clock. More coming up from the south. We'll have to see. There's individual disturbances coming through the state, and the timing and location of those are going to change. But everybody in this area is going to have that threat, and this is where the RPM is pegging the worst of the weather. Again, you can't look at this and say, well, there's going to be a thunderstorm right here at this time. No, you can't say that. Just this is the area of the state to watch around 11 o'clock, which is a large portion. And then notice by 3:30 in the morning, it all shifts east of the Channel 7 viewing area. So you think the severe threat is over at that point? Sorry, it's not. We have another round of strong to severe thunderstorms that should get going later Thursday morning into the early afternoon, and that will primarily be across eastern Arkansas, where there is an enhanced risk for severe weather, slight from around Salem and Fulton County back towards Atkins and Pope County, south towards Hot Springs, and then Magnolia eastward. There's that slight risk. And then an enhanced risk from just east of El Dorado up through Warren, near Pine Bluff, Whitehall, in the eastern Pulaski County, and then that shoots northeastward. So it's basically, this is the area that I would really keep an eye on in Arkansas. That would be Thursday with the next round, because it's going to get quite unstable. The front still out towards the west. So what are the impacts? Well, this is at least with the initial round, and probably the second round too. Hail medium, wind threat high, I think damaging winds, and yes, there will be an elevated tornado threat with this. I don't think, we keep saying isolated tornadoes, but I think it may be a little bit more than that. We'll have to keep an eye on that. And there will be a flooding threat, unfortunately, with this system as it comes in. So now I want to show you, and I'm going to go to Thursday's system in just a little bit, but I just want to show you where we stand right now, because these are some amazing statistics here. First of all, the time of day with tornadoes, as you would know, they occur in the late afternoon or early evening. This is looking historically, but they do occur at night. Those are the most dangerous. Here's the enhanced Vegeta scale, and I want to show you this before I get into these. Most of our tornadoes, a large 90% of them are on the lower end of the EF scale. We're talking about winds that are generally less than 140 miles an hour, but as you know, that's extremely significant. By month, you can see as we go into our secondary severe weather season, we go into March. This is, again, a historical look. Close to 200 in March, more than 400 in April. So we're going to our climatological peak. Now, Arkansas tornadoes by year since the year 2000, average is 33. That's a 30-year average. But so far this year, we've had 19, one of the fastest starts to severe weather season, tornado season that we have had in a long time. 19 tornadoes so far this year. And 25 all of last year, and we still got quite a ways to go. So we've had more tornadoes this year than 2015, almost as much as 2014, more than 2012, and more than 2017. So, and it's not even April yet. So here's where all the tornadoes have ranked. Again, most of our tornadoes are on the lower end of the EF scale. 6 have been F0s, 9 have been F1s, and 4 have been F2s. So I just want to show you that. By the way, while I've got you here, a couple more things. Hail reports, large hail reports historically really ramp up in April. And this is the correct method of reporting hail. 1 inch quarter, 1.75 inches is golf ball. So try not to tell us marble size, for instance, because marbles are different sizes. Tennis ball, baseball, grapefruit, and let's hope we don't see those. When you help us out, we never want you to put yourself in any danger, but this is something that we have been fighting for so long, and I don't think we're ever going to win this battle, but so many people send us pictures this way, and this is the correct way to send pictures for TV purposes, and use the hashtag on Twitter, ARWX. So it's just your natural inclination, because that's the way you hold your phone, to do it this way, but for television purposes, that way. But it just makes it easier on us, and we'd appreciate it. If not, we'll deal with it. All right, now I want to go to weatherbell.com, talk about the Thursday stuff. First of all, this is the NAM, 3-kilometer NAM. And again, they're very strong. I'm not going to get into all the meteorology of all this, but it's a very potent storm system coming in with some short waves, some disturbances. So this is showing almost the same thing. This is late Wednesday. You see thunderstorms over western Arkansas. They come across at night. And then I want you to see what happens on the tail end of this. Okay. Now I'm going to advance to the Thursday threat. This is Thursday at 1 p.m. You can see a line starting to form here. So late in the morning and early in the afternoon, there's a line. Now I want to show you the Cape. This is as far out as this goes, 60 hours. Cape. There we go. Very unstable air developing across the Delta and the Grand Prairie. We're talking about Cape values probably close to 3,000, which will be supportive of all modes of severe weather, especially large hail and tornadoes into the afternoon, and that's why there's this enhanced risk on Thursday. Notice how this is where the front's located, things really stabilize right in this area as the boundary comes in, and you can see that most likely with the dew points. Sometimes I have a hard time finding things over here. Here we go, 2-meter dew points. Yep. So you have, the higher the number, the more moisture is in the air, so you have 63 plus dew points across central and eastern Arkansas, and then they drop into the 40s and 50s. So a very clear indication where that front is located at that point in time, and then that severe threat is over. So as I told you, it's just to sum up, and I know I've talked a lot here, but just to sum up here, we're looking at severe weather, all modes of severe weather possible, late Wednesday into Wednesday night and early Thursday morning. Then things kind of ramp down a little bit. Then they go back up again, and that's the most dangerous part for central and especially eastern Arkansas, I think, in my opinion. Well, it's all dangerous, don't get me wrong, but I'm thinking in terms of kids being in school Thursday late morning and into the afternoon, especially if they're letting out for school in the mid-afternoon, which I think things will be winding down in Arkansas at that point. But kids in school at the time in eastern Arkansas, so there's so many different elements to watch with this dynamic storm system coming in. Thank you so much for watching us here on the Arkansas Weather Blog, sponsored by Red River Dodge. Thank you very much for coming here. We are your ticket to big weather events.